Good afternoon, Namaskar. On the dais, Sri Ahmed Nadeem, IAS, Principal Secretary, Environment, Forest, Science and Technology, Government of Telangana. Sri Kalicharan Kartade, IAS Secretary, Telangana Biodiversity Board, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and all our friends from the various states. I am indeed very happy to be here. And I am very pleased that Telangana is the first state in our nation to host this kind of conference. And I am even more delighted that it is going to be an annual affair. So we look forward to a much larger participation. And I was hearing the professor from Osmania University was talking of mentoring. This is the spirit that should be done in the conference. Teaching has become very old-fashioned nowadays. It is the mentoring process, the learning through experience, the hands-on learning that our nation has epitomized since centuries through the Guru Shishya Parampara. And the young man from Sikkim, I just spoke to him in Nepali, by the way. I know Nepali with my grandmother's from there. So he raised a very nice question that, when I was walking in, people asked me, am I from Nepal? This only shows that this kind of conferences are much needed. It shows that more conferences are needed, more states should collaborate with each other. And topics, family burning issues today, biodiversity. And in our age-old civilization that we call the Indic civilization, or civilization of the dharmic way, right action, right words, our traditions, you'll find a lot of stories, a lot of writings about the princes or the rulers or the leaders going to the ashram, and the Muni Rishi's ashram was always located in jungles or forests. That was because the future leaders, the future rulers would learn so much from the forest. How to live in harmony. Because in the forest, the microorganisms, the organisms, the animals, the human being, the foods, the trees, the shrubs, the mosses, and you name it, it is there in the jungle. And everyone lives in perfect harmony. That's why the University ashrams were always in the forests, and the rulers or the leaders or the future rulers, princes would always go to University ashrams and stay there to be mentored, to learn. So the forests were our living classrooms. In our civilization or in our cultural history, you find that the forests have played a major role in giving that experiential teaching, as I was talking about, giving that experience to people who would be future rulers, who would be future, leaders, future opinion makers, future influencers. They would go to the Muni ashram and stay there for a few years and learn from the university of the forest. That was the importance of biodiversity in our cultures. As rapid progress took place when we were in school actually, we used to have this debating club, and I was quite good at debating. So there used to always be a debate whether you want development or you want environment, as if both were at little loggerheads. But today we have realized that both must go hand in hand. Both need to go hand in hand. Development and eco-environment must go hand in hand if that development is to be sustained. Because we will learn many lessons like global warming, like flash floods, droughts. We have learned lessons that development cannot be at the cost of environment. It has to be environment friendly. It has to be biodiversity friendly. I come from a part of a country which is very, very biodiverse. The northeastern region that consists of 8 states, including Sikkim. And there we have almost every few kilometers we find different type of biodiversity, different type of biosphere, and very fragile ecosystem. So I used to keep telling, I was a minister there in my state in Tripura for the environment and for biotechnology, and I used to keep telling that we must use the biodiversity for tourism. That's another thing, but we cannot exploit it. Exploitation of human, of nature, of biodiversity is not the civilized way. Many people quote that, youngsters quote that, in this rat race for development and rat race for career, we do quote that Darwin saying, survival of the fittest. But that is for the law of the jungle. For us, if we are to call ourselves, civilized society, our slogan should be different, not survival of the fittest. It is to the welfare of the weakest. It should not be survival of the fittest, it should be welfare of the weakest. Because it's our duty to look after our biodiversity. It is up to us whether we live in a biodiverse world or shall we perish. If you don't care about the environment, the people who are affected most are farmers, people living in the mountains. They are the ones who are affected most. And slowly, neither will we be left out. That is the importance today of biodiversity. And it teaches us so many things. Earlier we used to think that forest is only there, trees should be there, so carbon dioxide, oxygen and nothing like that. No. The forest is a living classroom. Like in India, we always, we think that the banyan tree is very sacred. Because you look at the banyan tree, the branches grow and the branches also have roots. Every branch is almost an independent tree, but it clusters together. It survives together, despite of being a tree. And there is no such thing as, center of the banyan tree. The banyan tree is polycentric. It's polycentric. So our development needs to be polycentric. We cannot define, development only looking at our passbooks or bank account books. Because if we do that, then all that money in the bank will go on healthcare. We have to avoid disasters. That will be disastrous growth. It will be growth, but it will grow disastrous growth or leading to disaster. In the light of things, if you see the importance of the environment and the biodiversity, it becomes utmost important. Today the debate is how to make development sustainable. How can we live happily on this earth? And when we say unity in diversity, we don't only mean unity among human culture. We mean unity in the real sense. There must be unity with our environment. There must be unity in our biodiversity also. And when we speak of heritage, we speak of, the Charminar, or the Taj Mahal, or Sarajam Museum, or the art pieces, or art galleries. But there is another heritage that we have to protect and conserve. That is the natural heritage. Because that affects our life, our daily life, lives of our children, of our grandchildren, of generations to come. And biodiversity is part of the environment. Human beings cannot own this earth. We are here to live on it, to live with others, to share. We are here to share the earth, not to own the earth. And since we are the only animal species that can be educated, Most of the animal species, others can be trained. We can be trained and educated. So the responsibility lies on us to protect the diversity and the environment. So when you go back from here, I'm sure you will go back with some new ideas, because we expect new ideas from you, innovative ideas. Very innovative ideas which will transform the way we think, the way we look at biodiversity. And I just had a glance over the 9 points you made in your Hyderabad declaration. That's another very good thing. It gives some meaning to your country. It gives a meaning to a conference when you have a declaration of this type. That is very nice. You're talking of experiential knowledge, or imparting experiential knowledge in the field of biodiversity. You are talking of involving SHG groups in your biodiversity activities, and you are talking of livelihoods also regarding biodiversity, which are very innovative, and how to get them done. Maybe a small step, but we always have this monumental complex that we have to make monuments, we have to do huge things. No, it is not that. For the people who are living in the margins, a small step is a life changer. Even a small step can be a life changer. And it is a small step. If you look back in your own life, you will see the small step that you took today has made you. What subject you study was immediately decided by you. It is not something monumental. The small step that you take can change lives. For people living in the mountains, change your own life, change your life. People look at biodiversity. So this conference has been very meaningful, and I am delighted once again that we will be here again, next year. A lot of young leaders will come, and young people are to be brought into the fold. It is them who will give tomorrow a meaning. It is their dream that will be translated into the future of Mother India. It is their thoughts that will become tomorrow's deeds. So this conference is a very meaningful conference, and I must congratulate the organizer. And I also congratulate all of you for coming up with a nice, meaningful declaration, and to the mentors who have put in new thoughts and helped you in the experiential learning. And you have been, this venue also has been very happily chosen. The venue itself, allows you to think, allows you to see the latest technology, allows you to realize that Vikas be Virasat. There must be Vikas, there must also be Virasat. So it was very nice meeting you all. We hope to see you again. Thank you. Jai Hind.